I can't believe I'm still interviewing this man. I can't. I mean, it was high school. It's been 20 years. How is he still in a Heat uniform, scaring people, representing Heat things? Even you, Udonis Haslem, did not think it was going to last this long. The best case scenario when you come out of, and thank you for joining us, the best case scenario out of Miami High or out of the University of Florida was a career that lasts how long?
Maybe about 10 years. Maybe about 10 years, the best case scenario. Never envisioned winning championships. I tell people all the time, I think people have this story where they said, like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to buy this big house and do all these amazing things. And I literally just took it step by step and day by day, man. And I really didn't know how far I was going to go, but I just knew I was going to put my best foot forward every day and see how far I could go with it.
And how do you feel now? Because, Udonis, it's hard for us in Miami to explain to others. No, you don't understand why he's valuable on that bench. You don't understand why he's valuable in that locker room. You don't understand why he'll have a statue and a retired number. And they laugh at us and say, well, the last 5 years he's been stealing money from the Heat. And you get that and feel how, as we're trying to defend you. And I've heard you defend you. It pisses you off because they're trampling on your dignity a little bit.
Was that 3 out of the last 4 Eastern Conference Finals?
Okay,
that's his answer, Dan.
It is his answer. And
more playoff wins in the last couple of years than Golden State, I believe. More playoff wins in the last couple of years than I think the 76ers. More playoff wins than I think Milwaukee since 2019. I mean, these are all the top tier teams, and we got a guy just stealing money.
Why quit? I mean,
yeah, why quit? Why are you leaving? Why are you retiring?
Because I'm going to get a hater something else to do. Find somebody else to play with. I'm tired of playing with y'all.
Can you explain to us, Udonis, when I try to explain to people, you do not understand that the Heat thrive on confrontation. They thrive on getting in each other's faces and creating something that would be uncomfortable for a lot of other people. Can you explain to us what's at the center of the cauldron where Udonis, if he needs to be summoned, has to separate his coach from Jimmy Butler?
What we do here is we make sure that everything is competitive. There's a winner and a loser in everything. There's not a day go by that there's nothing competitive going on in this locker room, in this organization, and there's always a winner and a loser. And we create those habits and we build those habits. And, throughout the season, it was a little up and down. But Heat culture is staying with it till you get over the hump and building those habits. And now you see those habits now in the playoffs.
Udonis, did you think Jimmy Butler could or would be this?
Oh, yeah, I play one-on-one with Jimmy almost every day. So, yeah, I know firsthand what Jimmy's capable of. I know he's pretty much damn near unstoppable offensively when he wants to be. So I'm not surprised at the numbers Jimmy's putting up. The thing with Jimmy is he's such an unselfish basketball player. He's such an intelligent basketball player. Similar to LeBron, has a very high basketball IQ. And even though he can score, he'd rather play the game the right way.
Can you please explain to us, just because you're in the center of Jimmy being pissed about something, and Jimmy can be a competitive asshole. I say that as a compliment. He can be a lot, and you are nearby, as Eric Spoelstra is saying, what, you want to fight me? You want to fight me? Can you please explain to us how long it took for the 3 parties involved with that to all be good with what happened there?
It was over instantly, right after the moment, and we moved on. It was over. I think one thing we do is we believe the eye-to-eye communication, and we only got so much time in the timeout to get to a solution. So whatever we got to say, we got to get, 30 seconds, a minute and a half sometimes if it's a TV game. We only got so much time. We ain't got to sugarcoat nothing, man. We got to get straight to it. We got to understand what's going on. We got to move to the next. So literally right after that game, Jimmy and me were drinking wine the next road trip, and I think we won 11 out of the next 12.
Udonis, I believe you. I would not dare to dispute you, but Mike Ryan's giving you the side eye. Mike Ryan doesn't believe.
Dangerous game.
Mike Ryan, you better be careful here, Mike Ryan. Mike Ryan doesn't seem to believe you here.
Doesn't believe what?
Well, I would say that there are reports that even at times this season, team chemistry was a little tense. You guys were having a difficult year, and some people were pointing to maybe UD, Spo, and Jimmy haven't been on the same page since then. Like, yeah, they can be professionals, move on, even have the occasional glass of wine, but the vibes are a little bit different there. And then something along the way, around playing time, you guys just locked in and everyone started getting along. It was kind of odd.
Well, the thing that's a little bit different about Heat coach is we don't quit when things don't go our way. So, yeah, things didn't go the way we expected it to the first half of the season. But so what? What are you going to do? Cry about it? You're going to quit? No, you come closer together. You work harder. And you figure it out. And that's what we do. That's different than most of this league. We figure it out. We don't point fingers. We don't complain. We don't look for trades. We don't throw people under the bus. We figure it out and we get it done. So, you're probably wrong about the things you suspected.
Care to apologize, Mike?
Yeah.
I apologize, UD.
Yeah, we're not soft like most of these teams. You know, we'll go through what we got to go through. We'll deal with what we got to deal with, and in the end, we'll figure it out.
UD, what do you say to the fans that wanted you guys to lose the play-in games because it gave you a better shot in the draft?
Oh God.
They're not really our fans then.
Oh,
That's what I've been saying.
Man.
They're not lifers, right?
Oh man.
Oh,
I mean,
Udonis, what do you say to people that say, how do you give up 45 rebounds to Clint Capella in a play-in game? That's not supposed to happen.
it's a basketball player. I mean, who's going to say how many rebounds you can give up to somebody? I mean, we're the best in the world at what we do. So the average people that's sitting at home that complain about Clint Capella getting 45 rebounds can't get 2 rebounds. You know what I'm saying? So just because Clint Capella doesn't make an all-star game, or just because Clint Capella doesn't wow you on your fantasy basketball team, doesn't mean Clint Capella is not a hell of a rebounder. He's not a hell of a basketball player. He's 10 times better than you civilians sitting at home that talk about it.
I do have a question about Bam because Bam.
He's gonna beat the shit out
no,
of you.
he's
Mike.
right too. He's right. Not 10 times better. I mean, we would not get any rebounds. We would get 0 rebounds on Clint
Long
Capella.
shot, long rebound, though, Dan.
Luck into one. I feel
0
like.
rebounds.
I'll put my face in it. I do have a question about Bam because even Bam says after games that he needs to.
Wait
be
a
more-
minute. Did you say I put my face in? What is he talking about? What did he say?
Hell yeah.
What did he just say?
He did.
put my face in the
he
buzzsaw.
said to the
What did he
leading.
say?
He said to the leading rebounder in Heat history that he would put his face into where the rebounds are under the rim.
No, I said I'll put my face into the buzzsaw. Essentially,
Okay,
yeah.
Clean that up.
Right.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people out there that would like to
Misunderstanding,
talk
yeah.
their smack about the Miami Heat and not face the repercussions of it. And you guys obviously have all the receipts. But I do want to ask you about Bam because Bam even himself has said that he hasn't been aggressive at times, and Heat fans watching at home that can't get 2 rebounds against Clint Capella would be frustrated. Bam, why aren't you being aggressive here in this spot? I know there was stuff out there about a hamstring injury, but why does Bam have these? You see what he does in Game 5 against the Knicks, and you say no ceiling. And then there are other games, particularly Game 2 in Milwaukee, where you get frustrated and you're wondering where he's at. Why do we have that experience watching Bam at home?
I mean, Bam's still learning. I think what people don't understand is Bam is only, 25 years old. Even though he's, very mature for his age. When Bam came out of college, he was more of a rebounder and a defender and a dunker in Kentucky. So the things that you see Bam now is all the skills that he's built since he's been in the Miami Heat organization and since he's been here under this culture. Now, with that being said, it's one thing to have the skills. It's another thing to be able to use them and use them at the right time. He has the unique ability to play the game of basketball and score points for us, but he also has the ability to get us in the offense and run offense for us. So when you talk about a guy who's coming out of college was really just a defender, rebounder, athletic guy, and you start to put a little bit more of a offensive responsibility on him and not just say score, but also get us involved. Guys like Duncan and Max, we got to get these guys on handoffs. We got to get our shooters shots. And also you have to score for us. And, let me forget, you got to switch pick and rolls on the other end and most of the time guard the best players a lot of times. So, when you're coming out of college, which is not that far along for Bam, being a role player and an athletic guy and putting on a lot of this responsibility, it's just a lot to take on. This doesn't mean he's not capable. He's just figuring it out.
Take me through a couple of things here, Udonis. You say you play against Jimmy every day. Jimmy, as I mentioned, when I say he's a competitive asshole, you say?
Yeah, me too.
So both of you going up against each other, how often does that escalate to the place where the Heat like it best, where you and him are face-to-face on stuff that you don't mind being face-to-face on?
The place where the Heat likes his best is when we all bringing the most out of each other. That's where we like it. So however we get to that point, that's what we on over here. We're gonna bring the best out of each other. However we get to that point. Some people like confrontation, like me and Jimmy. Some people you got to pull to the side and explain it to them. Some people you got to sit down in a dark room and watch film. Everybody's different.
Do the Celtics like confrontation?
They fans sure do.
Amen.
I'm wondering, though, when I hear people articulate that Boston is afraid of Jimmy and the Heat, but afraid of Jimmy.
Nah, I wouldn't say that. I don't think nobody's afraid of anybody. I think it's the ultimate respect on both sides, man. I mean, we pushed each other to the limits in every playoff series that we had in the past, and I respect that. I expect that again. I don't think it's any fear. I think both sides are excited.
Udonis, I think it was the best moment of this regular season, your alley-oop. Can you walk us through what you were thinking as you were coming down for the alley-oop? Because you dished it, you got it back, and then you threw it down. What were you thinking?
I mean, the problem with that is I do that every day. I think people think I'm around here packing a lunchbox and smoking cigarettes. But I actually come to work every day. Every day I come to work. And the thing what people don't understand is if I'm not in shape and if I'm not capable, then I don't have the impact on these guys that I need to have. So first and foremost, I have to prove that I can still capably go out there and compete at a high level. And then I can start the process of helping these guys along. But if I can't get out there on the court and show these guys and willingly compete with these guys at a high level, then my word is just going to fall on deaf ears.
UD, ESPN Analytics says you guys have a 3% chance to beat the Celtics. What say you?
Say who?
What do you have to say about that? 3% chance ESPN's giving you guys.
ESPN Analytitic.
Who said that?
ESPN Analytics, the mathematical
Who said that?
ESPN Analytics.
Exactly.
I'm sure the assalytics, assaholis, or whatever they call themselves, probably had us not beating Milwaukee either in the first round.
Yeah. Or the Knicks.
I'm sure the assalytics probably didn't have me sitting here with 3 rings in league rebounding Heat history. I don't listen to assalytics.
I love you, man.
I think I'm an athletic.
See you later, UD. Good to see you.
Thank you.
It's always nice seeing you.
Y'all done? Go get some more athletics.